Vengeful Spirit might actually throw a spanner in the works too, because of the Faceless Void pick being somewhat countered out by that immediately as it is. But the Monkey King will be picked up for the second time today. And we saw it being fairly effective early on versus FNATIC in game number 1 being played up by Boom ID. But they were able to completely shut him down later on with the use of a Spectre by Eternal Envy. And
10 seconds to go.
I have to say, I was somewhat underwhelmed by the Monkey King in that game after he was able to get his initial presence across the map established, and after he was able to get quite a bit of farm up for himself. He did a very good job of staying relevant in the net worth chart, and he stayed on top in the net worth chart for a very long time. I would like to say up until the last few minutes of the game, Monkey King was on top despite his team being at a considerable deficit. So, despite that not being able to carry to the same extent as what you'd like to see from a traditional carrier or from one position, leaves me wanting a bit more. Now, that being said, Monkey King can be put down in towards the middle lane, and FNATIC can also put their Vengeful Spirit in the support position, which is something that we haven't considered so far. But FNATIC pick up the Brewmaster for Universe. It's a great hero, and I think no one plays it better than Ice, in particular on Mineski. I would even go as far as saying he's one of the best Brewmaster players in the entire world, not just the Southeast Asian region. He's a threat to be catered to, and so is Universe for very similar reasons. Both of these offlaners who are very old school have the experience to know exactly when they need to call a support in, and they know exactly for how long they need to call a support in for, which means that you're put into a situation where you're wasting a lot less time around the maps of your support as an offlaner in a metagame which is so heavy with support rotation towards different lanes other than the safe lane. That creates a whole new problem for your mid player, because your mid player is now suddenly going to be suffering all of the supports that you would normally expect to be giving help towards your offlane. So Night Stalker's capabilities are indirectly somewhat stifled because of the Brewmaster pick as well. When you've got a player like Universe, when you've got a player like Ice, players who know the exact timing windows that they need to be able to exploit the entire map with the help of support rotations by calling for them when it is needed. Now, Death Prophet ban coming out from GEEK fam. That's a straightforward Abid hero. Great synergy with the pushing strategy. Great synergy with the Brewmaster as well, because Brewmaster can put so much control onto the map with his Storm Panda, with his Earth Panda, being able to stun, being able to Cyclone, being such an absolute nuisance that you have to deal with. It means that the Death Prophet will be having some attention taken away. Now, FNATIC will be the first ones picking up over here, so there is a possibility for GEEK fam to throw a curveball and try and counter things out. Monkey King, as I said, could still be going in towards the second role. The last pick, though, yet to be seen how that's going to go. FNATIC could go for the... Honestly, they could go for the OD. It's not a bad hero over here. There's not really any big counters to come through. Abid's very good on it. They end up banning out the Viper themselves because they think that that's a possibility, but they go for the Templar Assassin. So Abid's TA, that's a big treat for us to come through. He's typically considered one of the best players on this hero in the world. It's just a staple of any mid player's repertoire, and Abid is one of the best, if not the best in the Southeast Asian region. Obviously, there is some contention coming through from Mineski as well, but in terms of sheer skill, I would go ahead and say that Abid could potentially, with room for debate, be considered even better than Mushi when he's on his lane dominating mids. Moon on Mineski isn't really the most lane dominating kind of player. He more plays to try and fit the mold, but now all the attention is on GEEK fam. What exactly are they going to go for? Could be could be an OD for them as well, to be honest, because that makes up for quite a bit of the damage deficit that you have if you've got a Monkey King. But OD versus a Templar Assassin is a matchup where later on the TA is going to be very, very effective at taking him down. But they go for the Ember Spirit, another classic TA counter, but we don't see this hero being played very often. So I'm slightly surprised by that. Skemberlu will be on that one position Monkey King, so that's straightforward. We will be seeing the Ember Spirit going mid. And actually, now that I think about this TA from Abid is very risky, because looking at how they're going to be playing this, Ollie on the Jakiro can actually just camp mid with that liquid fire, completely demolish any sort of refraction. That's where Abed does not have his defensive abilities, doesn't really have the power of the Templar Assassin inside the lane that you would normally expect. But this is going to be a very difficult lane for Abed, and all eyes will be on DJ and Pylai to be able to try and save him and try and pull him out of the situation, as dire and deadly as this seems to be shaping out to be. So despite what I initially thought, where I said that, you know, the Templar Assassin should be something, this could very well end up shaping out to be a very, very different game draft-wise, where Abed might not have a fun time at all. So, quick introductions to come through. March is on the Night Stalker. Enchantress is being picked up by X-Rag, who is going to be the 4 position. Ollie on the Jakir, the 5 position, going to be rotating around to try and make Templar Assassin's life miserable. Will probably succeed in doing so too. Chuan, I assume that's how it's pronounced anyway, is going to be on the Ember Spirit. And finally, to finish things off, we're going to have Skemberlu on the Monkey King. He's got the courier farm going on for himself. The good old trickster. Good old trickster. A couple of deep wards will be the primary objective for both teams as they're trying to take control of the enemy side jungle. Universe will be on the safe lane. And he's got himself to 10 tangos, which leads me to believe that perhaps he expects a lot more presence towards his lane than might actually be coming through. Now, X-Rag, if he gets a Wild Wing Ripper or something like that, yes, you definitely need those tangos. If you get a Harpy, that's even worse, if that's even possible. Wild Wing Rippers are absolutely a pain to deal with. But top lane, looks like Chen's going to do the good old send back shenanigans. DJ will be sending back these creeps one by one to make sure that Eternal Envy will be able to have a pretty much free lane for himself. DJ might even be able to send back all 4 of those creeps, actually, now that I think about it. And this will be an interesting situation to look over towards later on, with later on being the emphasis, because mid lane, Abed is going to be facing off as we expected with the Jakiro and the Ember Spirit. Quickly sidesteps out the Liquid Fire, not the Liquid Fire, the Dual Breath. And well, they'll be perfectly fine. Chuan knows that the magic missile has been used, so the Flame Guard will be immediately propped up. The duration, a little bit weak on level 1, but it's still going to be enough for him to have a grand old time in the mid lane for now. While Universe on the bottom lane is going to be fairly evenly matched, honestly, versus Skemberlu's Monkey King. The Enchantress is very, very annoying and all, but you aren't going to be able to help out your Monkey King until you get a good creep up. So Universe should be having a really good time versus Monkey King, especially considering that he's one of the more skilled solo laners that you're going to see. Even seeing a 1v1 over here in the safe lane, off lane battle is so surprising, and that surprise will be turning to nothingness as soon as Ollie does rotate over. Turns this into a dual lane once again. They say, you know what, Ember Spirit can have his fun time against Abed anyway. But coming in from the side will be the Enchantress. She's going in on Abed. Abed's being body blocked up, and they've got enough damage to be able to make sure he goes down over here. One more Hadouken will do the trick, and Abed will be first blood. Pylai needs to be careful because they can actually tank up with that creep underneath the tower if they wanted to dive through, but it looks like they decide against it. In the meanwhile, DJ gets a kill on the March, and I'm missing kills already. What an absolute joy. Looked like he was able to get the good old... How many creeps are those? That is a lot of creeps. Okay then. Makes sense, I suppose. But hey, on the meanwhile, X-Rag will be just hopping about, having a grand old time. Abed has to be careful because already he's been brought down very low again. Like I said, this lane, which I thought would be straightforward for Abed, it suddenly turned out to become much more deadly than expected. X-Crag is coming through from the sidelines, picks up the Chen creep, but Chen immediately takes it right back. He's not going to be having any of those shenanigans. The Holy Persuasion will be very, Very frustrating for the Enchantress to deal with. Now, that being said, middle lane, I have to give some props over towards Chuan, who is still having a fairly good time, even though his supports have somewhat forsaken him after they got the first skill. Abid, though, it's time for him to start styling on Chuan as well. It's time for Abid to start expressing some dominance, while top lane will be where all the action should be. Still back and forth, Holy Persuasion, Enchant keeps being traded, and Eternal Envy needs to be careful, because if he gets caught out with DJ's ability on cooldown, I actually need to chase. Okay, 30 seconds on Enchant and 10 seconds on the Chen Holy Persuasion. Never mind. This is a battle that Chen is going to win absolutely any day of the week, but Universe bottom lane being slowed up needs to be careful. Skemberlu could go through with the Boundless Strike, but decides against it. Chuan as well being brought low, forced to use his salve, and over here we see X-Rag finding the Centaur creep, so they need to be careful in the mid lane because this could be another dive to come through. I said a little while ago that Chuan's been having a decent time, but now ever since then it seems like he hasn't gotten a single last hit, and Abid is just going in on him. They don't care about him at all. The damage is ridiculous, and Pilot Eye is still in pursuit. He doesn't have the movement speed advantage, so Chuan should be able to get away to safety. Pilot Eye is in range for the magic missile, almost gets it, but he gets fogged. Nighttime comes at a very inopportune period. They will be able to see that observer ward being planted, so hopefully the ward should be in order. March netted up is going to have a slightly safer time now that night has arrived, but Universe can't say the same about him because he's going to be slowed up by Ollie again and again, being zoned out. But despite that, 17 last hits on him, only behind the Monkey King on the Dire side, and everyone else on the top 4 is of course from his own team. Smoke through underneath the guys off a ward. Will they have scouted it out is another question, because they're treated.
Someone's having technical difficulties.
I leave the temple undefended.
Another fails to see.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
See that shortly. Are we? Looks like we are. Yeah, we are. So, did Abid go down again? Abid did go down again. That's a good kill for them to be able to get, but Abid comes right back. Tells Chuan again out of his lane. He's just going to be able to quickly show. Okay, more kills being missed. Great stuff, guys. Great stuff. That was the Jakira who rotated over. Left his Monkey King alone, said that you've had enough time to yourself, and other people need me as well. Eternal Envy will not be too happy about that rotation, but that leaves Universe some more space too, who's already been having a good time as it is. Pilot Eye moves forward. Nice little wave of terror. They needed a bit more damage though. 30 HP left. That Tango is working overtime, but Chuan, he's going to be forced to go back to his base regardless, and this is such a big deal because Ember Spirit, despite those kills, he's still sitting on 11 last hits. 11! And March on the top lane will be going down again if he keeps on being pursued up. The net will come off of cooldown in 13 seconds. The penitence is there to keep him slow, and he needs to turn around and try and TP away, but even buying up a teleportation scroll, it's going to be a 6-second cooldown once he transfers it from the backpack over towards his main inventory, so he is instead completely relying on having the movement speed to save the day. But now with 2 siege creeps, Jen and company are looking to get busy on the tier 1 tower, but tier 1 tower is being dived on the bottom lane. Universe, be careful, throws out the drunken ace, catches out both of them. That should be the end of the aggression, but Universe still being pursued up, could turn things around with a thunderclap. He's got the movement speed to be able to get away from Skemberlu for now, but no rotation potential from his own teammates, so he recognizes that and saves up his mana. Be careful over here, March. You might be caught out. The wave of terror is there, catching out 2. And now with the Enchantress creeps, they're going to attempt to keep on going forward. But Enchantress creep has been taken away too. That's the Centaur faking out the stun. And this tier 1 tower should be going down soon enough. Soon enough. Monkey King rotates over. He's going to be able to get a quick turnaround on towards Pilot Eye, but Pilot Eye's already taken out all the Eternal Envy. Will be sent back to Chen. Will manage to save his carries life, but he himself will be going down as a Void comes off of cooldown. Tower denied 2. Two for 1, and the tower gets denied. Decent victory coming out for GEEK fam. Good rotation from the Monkey King. It could have maybe looked to go onto the... Nah, Terrorblade couldn't go down. That isn't going to happen. That simply isn't going to happen. When the Chen Sendback is there, you don't have enough damage. He has too much HP on the strength treads. Just going to adjust my microphone a little bit. And you're right. That should fix it. That should fix it. In the meanwhile, back to middle lane where Abid, despite his 2 deaths, is still looking very much in charge of the game. Chuan on the other side, 1900 net worth. This is a very sad Ember Spirit. He's not getting last hits. He's been forced to go to the jungle a couple of times to get a few creeps here and there. X-Rag trying to trade away this tier 1 tower, make sure that they do get some semblance of map control around this region as well. While Envy will be zoned out, and bottom lane, Aldi will be taking a fall, but now they're in hot pursuit of Envy. They're going forward. The Void comes through. Envy's going to be slowed up, but with Twilight Eye being over here and the Sunder having been expended, Skemberlu needs to be careful. Envy's got that Quelling Blade, and we've already seen what Envy does to Monkey Kings once he has the Quelling Blade. If Monkey King is caught out, this could be problematic, but he goes down. There's a stun turnaround on towards Envy. Envy should be taking the fall, but he's fighting them all off. There's a 2-man Boundless Strike to do whatever it can, but Universe now rotating over. Primal Split has been expended. The boulder will go over towards the Monkey King, who's soon and surely going to fall, and indeed he will. One more right click from the tower will do the trick. He buys his team the time they need to get away, but the one position will not survive from either side. But look at this, man. The damage from every single Chen creep, it's too much. These hurl boulders really make you think. And Aldi is going to be a sad camper. DJ finishes him off, and now it's going to be Enchantress who needs to be careful. 10 minutes in, she's only level 5, hasn't been having the best leveling time in the world, but Abed, look at you, turns things around, misses his Melt Strike shot because of the attack speed slowdown. The next strike will be able to TP away. Pilot Eye can't quite come through with the swap in time, and Ember Spirit, well, he's level 6 at the same time Pilot Eye is. This is how bad of a time Chuan is having. Level 6 compared to the level 8.5 of Abid. Bottom lane, they're going in. Doesn't look like they'll be able to, though. Chen has his army of creeps to keep him alive and keep him safe.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help. The Dire went and fortified their structures. Dire's mid tower won't last much longer.
From us yet again, but I doubt there was going to be any kills in that time. Nothing else. But here we go. Here we're back. Here we're going again. Here's the time for the kills. March, be careful, March, because you could be caught out if they've got another slow. Abed doesn't have it off of cooldown, though. Psionic Trap can't quite come through. Skemberlu. Be careful, because DJ is a bit deadly. We've seen that across a couple of different games. Skemberlu sitting on top of the net worth chart. I'm interested to see whether he goes for a Battle Fury or not. That's what we saw in the previous game. Could also just be the straight up Shadowblade fighting build to allow Ember some more space to farm up. But Ember, level 6 on him. And who are they pursuing up? It seems like it might be the Universe Primal Split, but middle lane. Why are there so many pings coming through? They've got vision, I agree. Are they smoking up? Where is this Night Stalker even? Okay. Not entirely sure. Looks like it's time to start smoking up to go in towards the Radiant side top jungle, but this Observer Ward, although it scouts out a couple of people, does it realize that they're still fighting up in towards the high ground? Abed sees that haste rune. He gets too greedy. He's going to be caught out, but the swap from Violet Eye might save him. Universe blinks in. Primal Split is ready. Extract should be going down very soon, but instead he turns side onto Ollie, who's going to take a fall. Abed in the meanwhile does go down, but they're going to be going for more. Chuan trying to get away using his spirit, but he won't be able to survive another day as Universe will just continue further and further, disabling more and more. Ollie and Chuan will be the trade-off as Abed goes down, and honestly, that might even be an okay trade considering Abed is so far ahead. Is so far ahead from Chuan. Chuan is on 2,800 gold. In the past few games, in the past 2 games in particular, we've been seeing a trend of Abed stomping on the enemy mate so hard that they end up below the 4 position on FNATIC, and that's exactly what's happened again. This Chen, sitting on close to 3,000 gold, has more net worth than the Ember Spirit does. And Universe with the blink timing, absolutely phenomenal. Now going for the Midas, he knows exactly how far he is. And I have to also obviously commend Pilot Eye's positioning, being able to get that swap out in time and keeping Abed alive for long enough for the dark side to mess up their positioning. But hold that thought, as March might be coming underneath heavy fire once again, as he is slowly backing off. Twilight Eye. Okay, they're going for a wraparound. They don't actually have a smoke to do so, but they realize there's a psionic trap in place. I don't think that was actually within a vision range of the Night Stalker, because the tree's blocking him for a little while longer, and Enchantress will make Terrorblade Illusion fight up against Terrorblade Illusion, and she will be able to pick that one up for herself. Tier 1 tower in the meanwhile takes a fall. Chen and his army of creeps is able to do that very, very swiftly. Lots and lots of auras, 2 regeneration auras. There's also obviously the Centaur Conqueror for your disabling purposes. But middle lane, they're getting some more aggression out to Abed. Again, they're trying to shut him down, but he's sent back. Chen is on point over there, and he will be able to make sure his teammates are safe and sound. While March is still hunting to get something done. Ollie, in the meanwhile, will go down on the southern side, as he was caught out, and we're missing a lot of kills. We're missing a lot of kills. I don't know what he died to. Might have been the tower hit, to be honest. But now smoking up, they're going forward. Pilot Eye, be careful. They're a little bit far away from your teammate. Doesn't want to use the... Okay, they do want to use the wave. Do they see this, though? Does the dark side see the wave? They might have. They might have that... Doesn't seem to matter though. They slide right into it, trying to go for the steal. March is going to go down though. Now Ollie's been scouted out as well. They're in hot pursuit. X-Rag's TP can't be cancelled, and they can't take him down in time either. Chuan on the mid lane, still looking a little bit lonely, a little bit sad. 3rd lowest net worth, and well, Abed's looking to make it go even further down. I would have liked to see that Sideblade connect. It's always so much fun. Seeing the Melt Strike hit would be huge as well. Chuan backs off, and this is another one of the big problems. Ember Spirit can kind of counteract TA in the laning phase if you're a very good Ember player, but later on, Ember Spirit doesn't have armor. He doesn't build armor items either, and well, he's going to be caught out by a couple of these slows. Needs to be careful, because this might be Abed considering going in with some more backup. If he can just slow down this Ember Spirit, then Chuan, yeah, he's got a remnant. Where does he have it? Near the old secret shop, which is exactly where he goes immediately afterwards. Look at that damage! Melt Strike forces out the shrine as well. Now they're in hot pursuit. They're going in onto Ollie. Ollie's going to have his ice pot stepped out off by Universe, and well, he's going to be brought down immediately after. Melt Strike doing so much damage. Abed has found his farm. Abed has found his spacing, and Abed has found his prey. Blink forward. Universe with a crit. X-Rag will not survive. Simply doesn't have enough items, doesn't have enough levels, and doesn't have enough of a chance. While Chuan finally forces out that TA H's, but he's going to be caught out pretty soon. They're still going to be in pursuit. Skemberlu on the trees, trying to give back up towards his teammate, making sure that if anyone is coming through, they're going to have to deal with the Monkey King himself. But all in all, they trade a tier 2 tower and a couple of kills for an Aegis, and only an Aegis. And Abed is now going to be very close to a Blink Dagger after they bring down this one as well. They're going forward. The Macropyre has been laid out to try and defend the tower for a little while longer. Abed will not care as he continues on just taking it down. And indeed, this tower can't be long for this world. Envy needs to start using his illusions to try and tank it up a little bit, but it looks like he's perfectly fine regardless. They're going to go in on the back lines. They see a man, and X-Rag will be brought down. What in the world was that? Envy thundering out down target at 30% HP, and he was hoping to be able to get his HP back up to full, but unfortunately Universe deals a bit too much damage, and Envy will just be sent back. DJ says, sit down. I don't want to see any more of that. I don't want to see any more of that questionable behavior, sundering down a player who's at a third of his HP already. What were you thinking? DJ sounds like a cross mother in my head. You know, when he's playing Chen, it's like, oh, what were you thinking? But okay, wait for it. Stun comes through. They've got to be able to do a lot more damage than that, though. And Abed, in the meanwhile, will be able to finish off his Blink Dagger. What's item progression looking like on this Monkey King? He has finished off the Battle Fury, 2,000 more gold on him, going forward for more. But where will he end up? Because this Brewmaster is aware of his positioning, so if they can actually find a gank on him right now, this is a lot of unreliable gold. He's going to be forced to spend some of it, but should end up losing out a bit as well. Phase booting forward, Pilot Eye is forced out, and well, he might be intimidated slightly. Poor little Pi. He's still second lowest on his team for sure. Chen is continuing to have Ember Spirit trail behind him, surprisingly enough, on the net worth category, but Ember Spirit just now managed to get himself out of the support tier zone of farm. Smoke from the Dire Boys. March is marching forward. Smokes have been intercepted. Blaze down. It's a stop onto 2. They might as well have the ice spot, but it won't matter whatsoever. March is trying to go away. March is trying to save himself, but will be unable to do so. Turns around, and that is a wrong decision, my friend. Blink forward from Abed. He's going to need one more right click to take down Ollie. Triple kill for Envy. In the meanwhile, they're able to take down everyone except for the Ember Spirit. Looks like Wukong was caught out over there as well, and Ember Spirit, well, he runs away back towards the middle lane to try and farm things up. What an initiation coming out from Universe, and Ember Spirit no longer will be allowed permission to even farm up. But what an initiation coming out from Universe. Being able to catch them over there, that's such a difficult place to smoke up from, especially when you don't have vision. Now, if you look over towards the Dire side vision, they've only got a ward over there in the jungle, which means that as soon as you're walking up this choke point, you're going to be caught out immediately if there's anyone on the other side. That's why you will normally see teams going up like this, teams going from here and going from the side, so they can at least have the high ground advantage when they're trying to choose a fight of their picking. Now, they will be smoking up. I don't know if that was scouted out by the observer ward, but I don't think it should matter, because this isn't the entirety of the Dire side team. And now they're going to be bumping into, oh, wait for it, Envy sent back. Chen is caught out, so Chen will be the lone casualty, and he will have his TP stopped by the ice spot.
You expected daylight to protect
Not the kill they were looking for with the 3-man smoke, though. And it looks like this might be a Monticello or Sanjin. Maybe a Sanjin Yasha, to be honest. He needs some tank ability. We saw how quickly he went down over there. Universe blinks forward, has found out where March is. They want revenge for the Chen. They want revenge for DJ, but March flies through the trees and TPs away. Instead, it's on to Bambi. They look, but Bambi is too fast. She is so fast, though. 400 movement speed. I will say that the Enchantress has not really been showing the same effect that she does on the offlane, though I might be somewhat biased because of the recent game that I casted of Ice Ice Ice, where he was just untouchable at every point in the game. Pun intended. Pun intended. Scamberloo. Sanjin Yasha will be his choice, but mid lane, more action potentially. Abed caught out. His refraction will be ticking down, but they've linked forward with Universe. That's Storm Panda looking around for even more. Universe manages to get one, but he's going to lift up the Night Stalker as well. So now his teammates will be able to just continue on forward. The Wukong's command has been used. March needs to be careful. He's going to be caught out with another stun, but on the back lines, where's Abed still busy? What's Abed doing over towards the other side? Looks like he was too busy trying to go after absolutely no one. He started using his Blink Dagger, doesn't quite want to. X-Rag stays alive for a little while longer. Universe goes forward, throws out that Storm. March will not be long for this worm, and indeed he's down already. X-Rag can't be soon, has to be soon to follow rather, as Envy will take him down too. No buyback on the Enchantress, not that I think it would matter particularly much. Ember Spirit backing off, realizes that even now he's only got 6,000 net worth. Abed is literally doubling his farm. Literally doubling it. Another freezing ice spot will stall Envy for a little while longer, but this game is very quickly ending. And I will say this. Monkey King's got a lot of farm, but like I said before, we're not really seeing the effect of that farm. He doesn't really look like he's doing too much. Now, he does have a double damage rune, so could maybe look to get something done. Nice little amount of damage into Firelight Die, but look at how tanky even Firelight Die is. They have to throw out so much to catch him out. Shen should be going down as well, but there will be no trades, and there will be only support deaths on the Radiant side. Oh no, Abbott's turning around. He's got the BKB. He's going in. Skemper is already down. March will be soon to fall forward. X-Rack, be careful because one hit from this DA should be enough to take you down. Universe finishes him off as well. Blink forward. Abbott can't get the last one, and GG should be called soon enough because March has been scouted out, and March will be flushed out of his hiding hole pretty soon. Universe is on a merry old hunt. This train is never going to stop though. Mars, you have to start flying away. He goes down. He's been scouted out. These creeps have betrayed his position. March is being pursued, but oh no, Universe doesn't have mana. Needs to use that magic wand, intercepts him further on. He keeps on going, uses the Midas in the middle as well. Look at this Chen coming from the side. March is going to be able to fly his way down using so much time, but in the meanwhile, Firelight Die decides enough is enough. He's going to TP in. March is too swift. March is too quick. And March is not quick enough to save his barracks, and that is a shame, March. That is a shame. FNATIC 26-9. 2 racks is down. 23 minutes in, and GEEK fam, this might be time to start thinking about the second game, my friends. Might be time. Envy. Oh, Envy. So, quick notice to everyone. We have received news that DJ the Chen has reclaimed his rightful place in the network chart ahead of Ember Spirit. And Roshan will be going down up next. This will be cheese, this will be Aegis. This will more likely than not be GG. If GEEK fam want to come back into this, the only way I can actually see this happening is if somehow or the other they're able to get a quick wrap around and take down Abed in a 4 versus 1 or something. And then he'd probably end up taking a few kills here or there. March is going to be caught out. This smoke won't be helping. Firelight Die. It's on the target you were looking for. They're going to be going in. BKB up from Envy. BKB up from Abed as well. March will be the first man to fall in the background. Will be all down. Envy is beyond godlike indeed because the Wukong will not be surviving either. Where are you, Ember Spirit? You're far away, and you need to be far away because GG has been called before he will go down. They realize that it's out, it's done, it's over. And 30-10, 25k Goldie, 25 minutes in again. FNATIC completely and utterly dominate GEEK fam. They don't let them get anything whatsoever. This is 2 games in a row that we've seen FNATIC having a 1000